I'm just not sure why Maomao is out here. What did they kidnap her for? Other than just the fact that she found out and they're trying to keep that secret? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with some more Apothecary Diaries. I should give a little heads up warning here. This is another one of my 3 a.m. recordings, so if I've been a little bit slower on the uptake, that's my excuse for today. Now we do come back with the normal board and some notes, so let's go ahead and hop into the board first, where we as always have the board changelog. On the family relation board, I added Shusui on Lulan and connected her with a blue line to Surei. Mostly because, as per, Shusui was pretending to be Lulan when other people weren't pretending to be Lulan. I connected Shenlu to the former emperor and Jinshi with a white line. I added Taiho and a whole other me trying to keep tracks of stuff mini board. Let me just zoom in on that. This little thing here. I mean, there probably should be more stuff added to this, and, not all of it is established stuff, but as it happens, the main board is just so packed full of stuff. I can't really represent the things I'm trying to represent, so in the same way that I have the family board, the reality board, which is I think the only one that matters anymore to that, and then this thing over here, for, what was going on with the, Kasen, I think, Kusen, sorry, I put an A in there, Kusen thing. So yeah, just an added little board for me to keep track of some stuff with. Let's see, I added Suren and Renpo and connected them together with a green line. Then Lulan and Shusui with a green line. I've worded that poorly. I have connected Suren and Renpo to Lulan and Shusui with a green line. I then added Ansu and connected him to Lakan with a green line, and then I added Lahan, or I guess his name is Khan Lahan, right? And connected him to Lakan with a blue line. Just, I guess, a little added thing here. I don't know what happened to this guy. The guy who was helping Lakan back in Season 1. He showed up the one time and then never came back, so I guess that's just a little note for the board without being a board note. Anyways, as I said, I have notes, and I apologize if they're not all-encompassing or maybe even accurate, given the fact that I am just slightly confused. And as I said, it's 3 a.m. I guess Lumen is talking about stuff Maomao must have done before the abduction, as she never got to bring the, I've never said this word before, moxibustion materials before getting cornered. At the same time, I just looked up what moxibustion is, which is holding a lit mox stick near a specific acupuncture point. I don't want to be that guy, but this certainly sounds like nonsense to me. I'd be as likely to believe that the ghost story lady was really a ghost and did it as this happening. So Maomao's not coming back with the supplies could be meaningless to the baby being delivered correctly. I suppose it's a good thing Jinshi never got a chance to tell Maomao everything he wanted to say, as Maomao suspected it was something that would put her in danger for the rest of her life, for even knowing it. And now, surrounded by potential enemies, it well could be a situation where she's better off not knowing anything. Just to double check, meaning I went back a couple of times, like trying to figure out, okay, sun's setting in the west, they're on the east side of this, Surei was praying in front of the third gravestone on the eastern side of the graves. When we see Shenlu, she is kneeling in front of the second gravestone on the east side. So, for whatever it means, they were not praying for the same person. Again, the overlaid flash of the former emperor and Jinshi looking the same has thrown me off completely. This is a note that I took all the way back in episode 13, which was, of course, 29 episodes ago. Just an observation on matters I have literally no place in making, as I'm both dense and blind in most cases on this. But what physical traits does Jinshi share with the Emperor? The conceit is, of course, that Jinshi is considered to be his younger brother, so if you were looking for inherited traits, you'd be looking at the Empress Dowager and the former Emperor. We've only ever seen Anshi, and fortunately, she's got the purplish hair and eyes that Adu has. So, in that respect, it's a fairly convenient switch. The Emperor, however, has red eyes and black hair. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that if we did see an image of the former Emperor, that he'd have red eyes too. It just feels like a big visual tell to say that Jinshi has inherited all of the feminine traits of the line, and the Emperor has all the masculine ones. Especially if you move on to consider that Jinshi is actually the Emperor's son, in which case he has inherited nothing of his father's looks, and again, only his mother's. And again, that's a note that I took back in episode 13, noticing the facial features and whatnot. I swear the image I took of him, and again, this is talking about the former Emperor, he has brown eyes, but Amshi has purple eyes. So no matter what, all of my clues point to him inheriting maternal aspects. So why the Emperor's facial features? Again, I apologize, but it's the number of times that I've gone over who Jinshi really is that's ended up confusing me over time. If I had just settled down on a theory and written it as true, I wouldn't have had so many theories floating around after all this time. Also, stupidly, my board has both theories on it as true. I have the reality box showing Jinshi as the son of Anshi and the former emperor, but my family board shows him as the Emperor and Anshi's son. So, I guess now we know the reality box was always the right one. Here's another quote from something I quoted in a previous note. There once was a girl who gave birth to a daughter. She claimed that the girl was the late Emperor's daughter, but he denied it, saying he knew nothing of it. A doctor was declared the father and was exiled with the baby. A quote from episode 33 I had written down in my notes. Seems rather relevant again here, considering how much is related to the former emperor's escapades. Then we hear the story of Taihu, which I assume I'm saying correctly, the court lady that died last year, related to the ghost stories. She had a baby after an affair with a doctor, and it was taken away. We get the shot of Sure, who we are told was adopted by a former doctor. Lulan, when she first arrived, Shishu, then Shishu with Lulan, followed by Sure and Shishui. I think confirming my theories so far about that relationship, and that's what led to I'm looking to the side as though you can still see it. If you look at my board, that little new mini board area where I'm trying to keep stuff together, that's what I think it's confirming. Bold choice for Shenlu to say one of Jinshi's closest secrets and then try to make a run for it while surrounded by guards. I get that it was an emotional moment for her, and the opportunity suddenly came upon her, so she took it, but it was never going to work out. She got dealt a rough hand here, and in the past, of course. Well, I've been calling the Padme switch ever since last season. Here, it finally got paid off. Honestly, I just feel bad for Renpu. Really seems like the servant girl who had no choice and was placed in a position so scary that she pissed herself. She's not some grand architect of all this, she's just a stand-in. And my final note here. So I assume that the price of grain and metals going up across the country would mean that someone is supplying and feeding an army? And it's costing a lot, inflating the prices of these things across the nation. It seemed like they were implying it was something else, but my read on the situation is that they're buying all the metals in order to, I guess, to make more guns, or just more weapons, or even armor, I don't know. But then also, the price of grain is going up, and as I said, there's not enough famine or drought or anything, so I assume it's the same thing, someone's just buying a lot of grain. But why would you be buying a lot of grain if not to feed a bunch of people? So, that's my guess. Again, I feel like they were implying something else, but I think I'm leaning again more towards what I'm seeing. That said, though, that is all of my notes currently. I'm pretty sure there's probably stuff I missed in there, but hey, that's what you guys are here for. We're watching together. Tell me in the comment section. Don't spoil me. Indicate strongly what I've missed, though. That said, nothing left to do but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I did think about going back and going over the opening and seeing if there's anything that plays out from my previous guesses about what the opening might mean, but there's really nothing to go over here. I think everything I think about comes to either the masks, which I feel like are just about to be revealed, or the lady with the finger things, which is clearly going to be the concubine that Shisui is with. It was just indicated last episode. The element that I was going to do all of this, and then I realized, oh wait, everything I would talk about is basically being said by Jinshi in the callback to everything that's going on. And the micro flashes of what was it? It wasn't honey in a drawer. Potion. I want to say potion. That's not fitting. The something in the drawer was the drugs I think that girl was getting given, and everything has happened so far. I think that's the main thing, is that everything has kind of happened so far, and that we're in the final lead up to everything. What are we on, like episode 43 of 48? 5 to go? We're about there, boys and girls. Well, that's a good hairpin. I appreciate that she's still trying to have fun with her. Oh, go figure. Again, this has to be the best kidnapping anyone's ever had. Again, if anyone recognizes it as Jinshi's. I mean, again, she's a kidnapper though, so... Interesting though, why she would want it. I guess, I'm assuming we're gonna find out this episode what everything's all about. Because I'm thinking what I'm assuming isn't going to be what's at play here.
今年はバッタが多いみたい。だから今年の祭りは盛大にやらなきゃいけないんだって。
役を払うためということか。ほおずきなんて美味しくないよ。
知ってる。
毒があるし、花町では妓女が。
知ってる。
Wow, I thought you were gonna say something about the thing keeping the bugs away.
ごめん。
Also, she knows about the pleasure
ここ
district.
を上がっていくと社だよ。知ってる？ここに祀られている神様が狐で、豊穣の神と言われる理由。
知らない。
この地方には昔ある民族が住んでいた。
Oh, is it gonna be the ancestors of the people that used to build
そこへ西から
the capital, the palace?
彼らのことを追い出す村がほとんどだった中、ごく一部の
Well,
村
no, never
は
mind.
彼らを受け入れた。西からやってきた彼らには知識があった。畑を豊かにする知識、害虫を駆除する知識。その価値がわかる人たちが村の中にいたの。すると今度は豊かになった畑を奪おうとする者たちが現れたの。それが繰り返されるうちに、彼らは深い森の奥に
Okay,
里を作るよう
origin
にな
of
っ
the
た。
village.
ひっそりと隠れるように。
Is this gonna lead back to my past suspicions about Gyokyo?
狐は知識をもたらした西の民のことで、この村の先祖でもあるんだよ。ここの狐は白い狐なんだって。お面も最初は白かったでしょ。色をつけるのは定住してそこの色に染まるってことなんだって。
Is that gonna be
白い肌を表しているのだろう。
is that gonna be the maternal line?
鉄により染まっていく。
I can't remember the first empress's name.
なんか聞き覚えがあるような。
Yeah, this is what I'm referring
こ
to.
の村の男の人はね、色の見分けがつかない人が多いんだよ。女の人はたまにだけどね。
だからか。赤であるはずのまなじりの色を緑に塗っているのは。
I mean, again, that fits the door thing.
止水も。都へやってきた王母たち。そして森の奥
Royal
深く
Mother,
に
that was the
隠れ
name I
家を作
couldn't
った
remember.
白狐の民。どちらも祖を同じくする。西から来た民なんだ。
So I guessed the wrong people, but I was on the right track.
面はここに置いていっていいよ。
この面ってどうするの？
1年奉納した後焼くんだよ。
Yeah. That's always burning them.
こっちこっち。
Always winds up with burning. Where's Surae right now?
屋台も出てるんだ。
何か食べようか。
止水のおごりならね。
じゃあ串焼きとかどう？
カエルにイナゴか。
マオマオ
I guess I'd take frogs over
私
locusts.
イナゴ。この時期のイナゴはぷっくりしてて美味しいよ。
私は鳥で。
カエルは？
しばらく見たくないというか。
ん？
Well, I mean, I didn't know chicken was an option.
虫食べたことない？
花町の屋台では見かけない。だから汚いって。
最悪、バッタが混じってた。
どれも同じに見えるけど。
全然違うよ。こっちは美味しい。
Oh, I just assumed that she had never done it before and was just.
ねえ見て、社の中。
子供？
今日だね。
Yeah.
毎年子供がああやって
There's
神様
Kuyo,
に
it's
還元す
obviously.
るの。
言われてみればあのガキ、結構綺麗な面を描いてたな。それにしてもよくじっと座ってられるな。
一晩で何人か交代でやるんだけど、みんなやりたがるよ。
Well, who doesn't want to be
いい思い出に
God?
なるしね。そろそろ交代の時間じゃないかな。裏でちょっと待ってようか。どうしたの？
あ、この稲穂スカスカなんだ。佐藤さがくれたやつ。
あの人の田んぼ、育ちが
Oh, I thought
悪
that
い
was
ところ
wheat.
なんだよな。
I didn't know that was
ケ
rice.
チだからそこから取れたやつしかくれないんだよね。まあ今年は諦めな。
こっちのがいいんじゃない？
え、いいの？はあ、やったありがとう。マオマオ、いいやつだね。
別に私が持ってても意味ないし。
姉ちゃん、俺どうだった？いい出来だったよ。
Yeah, I'm still confused about if he actually means big sis or it's like a term of
来て
endearment.
くれてたらいいのに。
母親とは一緒に暮らしてないのか。
さ、去年の面が燃やされるとこ見に行こっか。
I'm just not sure why Maomao is out here. What did they kidnap her for? Other than just the fact that she found out and they're trying to keep that secret?
願い事？
願い事を書いた面が燃え尽きて天に昇ったら願いが叶うって言われているんだよ。書いてねえの？
今知った。
マオマオはそういう迷信信じないと思って。
迷信じゃねえよ。あれは絶対叶うんだ。だから去年も丁寧に絵を描いて願い事書いたんだ。
This is one of those things where you're not supposed to tell you.
言うわけねえだろ。
Yeah, you never tell what a wish is.
ほら、来るよ。
Well, they're all red. They knew the difference between green and
や
red.
りたかったんじゃないの？
俺は子供じゃねえからあんなの他の奴らに譲ってやるよ。
大人だね。
強がってんな。
I'm not getting Kaguya-sama vibes.
Oh, 今日の面あった？
わかんねえ。ちゃんと燃え尽きると
I would say, I guess it's bad luck if it falls into the water. I mean, if this is supposed to have some sort of emotional significance to me, I don't know what it is because I'm unfamiliar with the ceremony past what they've told us already.
虫は冬を越せない。ただ、子を残すのみ。
Was that... Sorry, is that metaphor? Do the adults sacrifice themselves every year and then the children are left behind? That's why the mother's gone?
戻ったか。夜食は？
食べる。
祭りはどうだった？
行ったらちょうど今日が中にいてね。
なんだ。そろそろ約束を果たしてもらおうかと。よみがえりの薬のことか。うん。自分の立場は分かっているのか？
I don't.
形としては人質だが、拘束も。
Yeah, the fact that she's so free doesn't make it feel like she's a
逃げても無駄
hostage.
だと思っているのか？他に理由があるのか？この二人の行動には違和感しかない。でも、それよりも今気になるのは。分かった。
マンダラケとフグですか？割合は？他に入れるものは？量はどれぐらいが適量ですか？あと、蘇った後の体の状態を。
To be fair, you did tease her with this a long time ago.
すぐ動けましたか？
マンダラケはいらないと思う。
いらない。
異国のレシピには書いてあったが、昏睡を長引かせるもので、人を奴隷にする際、意識を失わせるために入れたのだろう。元はそういう薬だった。私はこの程度で済んだが、失敗すれば記憶を失う。
Yeah, like voodoo, like a voodoo potion.
私でどうぞ。
お前では試さない。
なんでですか？遠慮せずに。
人質だろう。
仲良くなってよかった。お姉ちゃんもマオマオも友達少ないもんね。
Yeah, plus Momo has the same... Maomao has the same thing on her arm. from self-experimentation.
止水と仲がいいんですね。
そう見えるか。
ええ。もっと止水に聞きたいことがあったけど、なぜ私を連れてきたのか、何が目的で動いているのか、そして彼女たちは何者なのか。
Yeah, I guess Jinshi is the one with all the answers there.
これ全部薬草の。
ああ、私は出かける。外に見張りがいるから逃げようなどと思うなよ。
We're not really sure where we're at. I don't know where you could escape to.
お前見張りつけられるとか何やったの？
マオマオ、朝ごはん冷めちゃうよ。
後でいい。
もうそんなこと言って。ほら、着替
Be
え。
surprised if that's not the image I use for when I'm talking.
武将だな。すげえ偉そうだ。シェンメイ様みたいだ。
シェンメイ？
Shinmei. Is that the concubine?
ほい、できた。今日、あなたは食器片付けなさい。
あいついいとこの坊ちゃんなんじゃないの？
乗車必須。ずっと名家の坊ちゃんでいられるかはわからないでしょ。
そういうもんか。
マオマオ、昨日のかんざしは？
寝台の脇。
もう適当に置いて。これいいかんざしだから存在に扱っちゃダメだよ。
Again, I think that everybody knows that it belongs to Jinshi.
というか、文様の細かさとか職人の技って感じ。見る人が見れば誰の注文で作られたかわかると思うよ。
じゃあ売り飛ばせないか。くれたやつが粘着質だから戻ってきそうだな。
潰して地金にするしかないね。
それももったいないな。
I mean, we do know some metallurgists.
ちょっと物足りないかな。これでよしと。
手慣れてるよね。
慣れてるよ。遅いとぶたれるもの。
Wait, what?
ぶたれる？
マッサージもうまくできないと熱いお湯かけられるの。だから必死で覚えたんだ。
それは怖いな。
I guess that answers the question about if her dad cares about her or not that Jinshi was asking last time.
それ。マオマオには怖い目に遭ってほしくないからおとなしくしててね。私も今日は出かけるから。
I guess they're kind of similar in that respect from what Maomao's mother tried to do. Except this is more active and longer, so worse. I wonder if they're implying that the concubine
時間くらい経ったのかな。
got out because she had an illness the same way that Maomao's mother did, or...
すごいな。里の外まで一望できる。あそこだけ稲が収穫されずに残ってる。どころかまだ青い。横にあるのは稲の貯蔵庫か。そういえば
あの人の田んぼ育ちが悪いところがあんだよな。
あそこがその育ち
She's
の
gonna
悪い
try
と
and
ころ。
solve their
しかも
farming
綺麗な
situation?
四角形に。もしかして。
え？何やってんだお前。
もう少し静かにしてるわキルン。
より姉ちゃんは
知らない。なあ、あの建物何かわかるか？
お、ああ、佐藤座の古い倉庫だよ。ネズミが入るからって床が
You
高い
think something's
新しい
in the
倉庫を
storehouse,
作
or
っ
just
たんで
preventing the
今
fields
は
from
使ってないん
growing?
じゃね？
あそこに行くことはできる？
でもお前見張られてるんだろ？まあ行けなくもないけど。
本当に？どうやって？
仕方ねえな。
You're gonna get
俺が勉強から
you're
抜け
gonna
出
get
すた
her
め
in
に使って
trouble,
る抜け
and
道
she's
が
gonna get beaten because of you, and this is not gonna be a fun, happy episode ending. Also, I guess they just don't recognize you
何する
with the
んだ？
fact you're being watched and you snuck out and still didn't get caught.
こ こだけ栄養が足りないのかな。
多分違う。
なんでわかるんだよ。
この窓の大きさと残ってる稲の幅、だいたい同じくらいだ。ここだけ夜もずっと
Is it that that's where they're keeping the phosphorus, maybe? To make gunpowder or
普
something?
通は日当たりがいい方がよく育つと言われるけど、昼夜ずっと明るい光を浴びると育ちが狂うことがある。
へえ。
周りの環境を変えて咲くべきでない時期に花を咲かせて。
Oh, the payoff finally for the blue roses thing.
ここネズミが出るって言ってたよな。
うん。罠を仕掛けても全然減らないんだって。
つまり取り放題と水霊は言っていた。薬を人体で試すにはまだまだ改良の余地ありだと。なるほど。捕まえやすい小動物で試してたということか。
Again, I'm just like looking for like elements that could be poisoning the field. So she says that, and I'm thinking, oh, whatever she's using in the drugs is the rats are dying in the field, and
まあ予想はしてるけど。
ネズミか。
やっぱりここで実験してたのか。
oh, okay, well, I guess I was wrong about
全部持っていきたい。
all of my guesses, but the last one, which is based on just what she said.
なんだこれ。金属の筒？
Or maybe I'm not wrong.
なんでこんなものが。ここまでは予想してなかった。参ったな。
So not exactly the phosphorus thing I was talking about, but the guns are being made here, apparently.
じゃないか。狩りの時、jinshi様を襲った暗殺者たちが持っていたのと同じ。
あら、なぜ鍵が開いていたの？
Is this gonna be the,
誰か閉め忘れたの？
I forgot her name, we only heard it once this episode so far.
戸締まりをしたのは誰？
Nope, there we go.
おかしいわ。
The one that beats people and throws hot water on them.
問題がありましたか？
Oh, and her too.
あれはあの時の特使か。
いいえ、アイラ様。何でもありま
Oh,
す。
so it is actually her.
せいでしたわ。汚いネズミが2匹入り込んでいたようだけど。
No, in the red.
この人がシェンメイ。
The concubine that married Shisui. Shisui. Yeah. Ah, jeez. I told you. Well, here's the problem. I said the episode wouldn't end in a happy-go-lucky way, and it didn't, but I was expecting worse. So, payoff there is that I guess next episode's gonna start horribly. Because Maomao's not being watched, and she's supposed to be watched, and the other girl said, literally, I'm gonna get beaten if you don't follow, and she didn't. Where did Surei go? She said she'd be gone for, what, 8 days, couple of days? Sorry, I can't quite remember exactly the amount of time she said. But, what is she up to right now? Certainly it's not sneaking back into the rear palace. That would be a fool's gambit. Because after you stole Maomao, kidnapped Maomao, you don't steal a person. After you kidnapped Maomao, everyone's gonna be looking. So I'm assuming she's not so dumb as to do that. So she clearly must have some sort of other operation that she has to go do something with. Yeah. I guessed it had something to do with the guns. Obviously it did. We found, I guess, the worst person in the show so far. Not going to be happy to learn more about her. What a weird That's weird. It's weird because we get the, oh no, she's pointing a sword at us, then happy-go-lucky running down a hallway, and then slap. And, it's juxtaposition of normal and horrible. I mean, to be fair, maybe he was happy running because he was escaping from her, so I guess that would make sense. Because also the fear in his eyes, I'm wondering if what happened to his parents was her, in which case, yeah, justified fear. Not just she's abusive and I'm scared of her because she's abusive. Ah, man. There's an element here that I just don't know because I feel like this almost feels like sometimes when we start a new series, or arc, I should say, new arc, where we're not introduced to all the facts yet, so kind of everything is something to pay attention to, and yet we still just don't know that much about what's going on. I feel like that's what I've been dropped into, even though, as I've said before, we have very few episodes left. I feel like I saw somewhere that there is going to be a season 3, like when I was just looking up episode names to put on the schedule. So I haven't been spoiled for anything, but I think there's going to be a season 3, which, thank God, because I don't know how you could answer all of the questions that I still have right now, or pay off all of the hanging threads of all the previous storylines in just a number of episodes we have left. I will say here that we're finally separated Maomao from Jinshi. Not happy with it. I much prefer the chance of Jinshi telling Maomao all the secrets and then how he feels and then whatever position he wants her to be in going to the future for whatever he's trying to do. That will they, won't they? I mean, obviously they will, but I mean the element of will they, won't they actually say something this episode. I much preferred that to learning more about this side of the stuff. I mean, we had to learn about this eventually. At the same time, though, what's going to be the payoff to this? I think the biggest thing here is the element that the Westerners came here and mingled with the existing population, and that the Royal Mother is like an extension of that. So the element that the Royal Mother's bloodline is the bloodline that has like, what is it, like the color, the eyesight problem thing, right? And it's so rare in the royal bloodline that sometimes we got to thin it out, sometimes we got to thicken it, and that these people are just here. I don't know. I thought maybe it was like a little bit more special when it was like just a few people here and there. It's like, oh, she's got it. Oh, they've got it. And now it's like a whole village full of it. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what this means anymore. Yeah, and I just don't like the whole domestic abuse angle that we're getting all of a sudden. Although I guess, to be fair, it it pays off the earliest threats of the show, where Maomao said if she doesn't do a good job, she could just be killed for doing a bad job. And that never paid off, and then we never saw anyone really on the verge of being killed for doing a bad job, other than maybe the dropped ice thing. We didn't actually see that, but I just mean the threat was out there. I mean, otherwise, literally nothing happens unless you kill a baby. So, from that storyline. So, yeah. Like I said, apologies. It's going on like 4 a.m. now. I have been up taking notes and doing boards for all these other shows. So, if this one suffers a little bit because of my weariness, I apologize. However, you do know I'm going to come back with notes. So, no matter how I am now, anything I may have missed this go around, I will pick back up in the second go around, and that's why we do it the way we do. It's also why we have not note section. It's also why we have a comment section for you to give me that extra little go around and then tell me how wrong I was. Specifically, though, only about stuff we've seen this time. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's so much. The element of the festival, obviously, I just didn't get because I'm not accustomed to festivals. The element of what the masks mean, the hope and emotion that was felt while everyone's watching the stuff. I'm like, is this supposed to be for something greater? However, there's always the element of something you see in the now has payoff in the future. the situation that Kyo is in could be an element of we're going to find out what his wish was on the mask, which is going to be paying off in the future. I mean, obviously, I don't think his wish is going to come true, but it will inform his character, and then we can figure out from there what we're actually going to try and do, right? And assumedly, the other girl had something written on her mask too, right? Sure, I didn't go, it seemed like, so there wouldn't have been anything there. But then again, she's off doing something too, but even though it looks like she's going to show up next episode. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm on a ramble. I apologize. Let's go ahead and hop into Maomao's notes, assuming that they're going to be Maomao's notes this time, and see what we get. Side effects.
水霊の豆知識
Oh, Surprise this time.
毒物の影響で体にしびれが生じることがある。体を動かす際、神経は電気で各部位に命令を出している。毒によってはこの電気の伝達を遮断し、神経の正常な働きを抑えてしまう。
昨日のお祭り、無事に見届けられてよかった。本当によかった。
Again, I don't like how sad she looks.
あいつマオマオのこと
You know that she's like getting beaten and throwing hot water on everything, and then she looks all sad. Fucking hate this.
水霊様
本日も体調に異変はありません。昨晩も大変よく眠れました。
そうか。
室内でも
So she wants to be experimented on.
食事は完食し、健康そのものです。
こいつ頭がおかしくなったのか。
違うと思うよ。蘇りの薬の実験台、まだ諦めてないんじゃないかな。
お前、副作用が怖くないのか。
Maomao loves side effects.
理性なくして生まれません。
お前も左手に。この立派なミミズバレは何の
See, I told you. It would totally bond on this shit.
キャッキャキャッキャ
キャッキャ。
ほっとこ。
次回砦。今度はどこに連れて行かれるのやら。
Okay, but we got that from the next time on, where it looked like she was somewhere snowy and clearly much more isolated. I'm just like, why would Surei want to come back here? Not Surei, Shisui. Why would she want to come back? Like, going out of her way. Like, I understand the element that if any of what the concubine stuff is going on gets caught, then she's on the chopping block anyway, but she looks legitimately scared to be here. Even in the jokey Maomao's notes section, she looks sad and depressed. I mean, I just don't like that element. Like, I don't care if she's a villain. She's not a bad villain. Like, I mean that in the sense she's not bad. Like, she's enjoying her time with Maomao, even though they're taken hostage and whatnot. So I don't want to see any harm come to her. Surei is a difficult story because I like the bonding that they've got going on now. But Surei really did try to kill Jinshi, and that's on the matter of how much you care about Jinshi. If you're like, don't care about Jinshi, then I guess you could just like forgive her and let her and Maomao bond over stuff. I mean, I just don't know. My problem is I like Jinshi, obviously. You know, Drawn is the dude. But I don't know how far you can go with that. How far does forgiveness go in this world, which is very super harsh about this shit? You know, like, I don't know. I'm not going to go over everything. It's just the element of how far do you forgive Surei. And it feels like she is also, like, not for nothing, the prime factor, like the prime motivator for everything that happened in the Rear Palace. I mean, we know that the dad probably was. We saw him talking to the Western envoy and doing all the trades, and probably is the one raising an army and everything, but he's not the one who got the stuff to then try to assassinate Jinshi. Why are they trying to assassinate Jinshi and not the Emperor? That's also a question. It's like, it feels like a weird crackback if it's just because he's actually the former emperor's son, and he looks like him. Like, if it's just a nostalgia remembrance thing, you look like him, we're gonna kill you first. That is a crazy way to go about it, because you're risking everything. I mean, unless, again, Jinshi does have a plan, and we just don't know what the plan is, and yet somehow they know what the plan is. Again, the show just leaves me with so many thoughts that sometimes don't come back in the notes section, and for that, I apologize. Always crack me back. What the fuck am I? My brain at 4 a.m. does not work right. Always hit me up on thoughts that I might end one episode with and then don't bring up in the next episode. Like, hey, you said you were going to think about this and you didn't bring it up this time. Why is that? Or what went wrong? You know, hit me with that stuff, because if I forget a plot point that I said I was going to talk about, I should talk about it. And, not for nothing, helps me know that you're paying attention. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, I will come back with notes more about, I think, the relationship between, I guess, I'm going to say all the female characters, but also, Kyo and his parents and what the hell might be going on there. Because I think Shenmei, was it Shaymen? Shaymen. Sorry, I'm already forgetting her name. Heard it twice. Some reason it's not sticking to me. I think it was Shenmei. The former concubine. I think she clearly must have had something to do with his parents not being around. Because even Shisui is like, you won't always be rich, or wealth fades with time, or something like that. It seems like she's preparing him for a life of destitution, or, some life where he will avoid that by his own hands or something. I don't know. There's got to be more there. I mean, there probably is more there. I feel like every character has already been fleshed out on the paper, and in the narrative, we're just being exposed to them over time via what's important in the moment, and then after that, what the show feels like we need to know to enjoy them as fully fleshed out characters. And I appreciate that. I really do love this show. I know it doesn't perform well on YouTube, probably because of me. I'm really bad at this. But regardless, I'm here to share the experience, because I like watching anime and talking to anime with people. So that's what I'm doing here, regardless if you guys aren't here for it. I would be doing this anyway, as I've always said. Anyway, I said I was going to wrap up like 10 minutes ago, I'm sure, and then I kept going. Once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?